Welcome back to another episode of the Unpolitical Review. Now, I did notice the first episode I forgot to explain like what this actual platform is. I want you guys to see this platform as not just a movie review, and I know I said that in the first one, but I plan on doing movie reviews, interviewing people, whether it's artists, and by artists I just don't mean like musicians, I mean painters, from athletes, because I consider those artists, sculptors, writers, the whole nine. I will be reviewing movies, interviewing artists, and then from time to time I'll be reviewing music as well, but I'll be using my platform to shed light on what I consider good music, good movies, and even if it's a bad movie, just speaking on it from not a negative perspective, but more so in like a positive light or positive way to show what I would do as a director or writer within that particular movie to make it what I consider better, basically. Because if you guys haven't seen on my page, I do have 2-3 short films up right now, and I do plan on making more. I have one that I'm planning to release either right before Mother's Day or on Mother's Day, but be on the lookout for that. But if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Without further ado, for today's episode, I will be doing sort of a versus between two of my favorite horror films of all time. And yes, I mean of all time. It's not in my top 5, but I can say it's probably in my top 20, 30, which is good, but top 20, 30. But it is Jeepers Creepers 1 that came out in 2001, directed by Victor Salva, and Jeepers Creepers 2 that came out in 2003, which is also directed by Victor Salva. So this episode will be broken down into 4 parts. I will be telling you which is scarier, which has the better storyline, which has the better characters, and which movie is actually better. Now, I know you probably already have your opinions, so I'll tell you right now, I believe Jeepers Creepers 2001 is the better film, but I think you should stick around and see what else I have to say about that. So not to waste any time, just to jump right into it, which is scarier? Now, I know a lot of people may be thinking that they know what I'm finna say, but I do not think we're on the same page within that. I believe Jeepers Creepers 2 is the scarier movie. Now, don't get me wrong, I know Darren and Trish were in a very, very scary situation within them being by themselves, being in a town that they had no clue of, like where everything was or where things were located. I know Darren's phone didn't work at the time.
The point of having a portable phone, idiot, is that it works when you need it.
I have a power cable for it.
Yeah, and I have a cigarette lighter that doesn't work.
Then when they actually saw the creeper, they did like not knowing what it was, but having in the back of their mind that their friend had just gone missing.
You know what I just thought of, right?
Kenny and Darla.
You believe that story?
That they had to go looking for her head.
They only found the car.
They never found her head.
I do think those things made that particular scene scary, and given that they were on a long road home and anything can happen, and if it was to happen, who would have known, and how long it would have been for somebody to like realize that they had gone missing, basically. It was a bunch of scenes in the movie that had me. So you had the scene when they first saw the creeper, when the creeper was chasing them, and you was like, ooh wee. Then the scene when Darren went back and him and his sister went back to look inside the hole, and Darren looked in the hole and fell. I said, whew. That would never happen if I was in that position. We would have kept rolling. After he would have chased us, yeah, we would have kept it rolling. I don't want to see what's in the church house. And once he went down there and seen all the dead bodies sewed to the wall, and what? Boy. Yeah, I can see why Darren was spooked, and I can see why the fear inside of him had grew, and the creeper really wanted him that bad because of what he's seen. And man, the creeper put them through hell, and that's exactly where the creeper was from. So I understand that, but I can't give the scare factor in that particular matter to Jeepers Creepers 1, just because in Jeepers Creepers 2, these were a bunch of high schoolers that the bus broke down twice. So before the high schoolers were even scared, scared. And I'm skipping ahead because I haven't even gotten to the actual intro. The fact that the bus drivers had seen the creeper's tool inside of the actual tire and didn't say anything, and so they kept rolling on the flat tire even though the bus has many tires. And then when it bust again, they seen a nut. Boy, I would have been like, oh nah, something ain't right. But they knew something was wrong, but they couldn't say anything because they had a school bus full of high schoolers. But before I get to further in that point, the beginning of Jeepers Creepers 2 with Billy, come on now. I love the intro for Jeepers Creepers, but I would consider, in terms of comparing the two, the intro for Jeepers Creepers is when Darren and Trish sees the RV with the family, and then the RV turns, and then you see the creeper for the first time come behind them and kind of scare them. Don't get me wrong, that was scary. But for Billy to be putting up the scarecrow, man, Billy, I salute you. The character, the actor was good too, but Billy, I salute you, because I would have never went over there. I would have saw that and said, Daddy, Daddy, I'd have been right. All the creeper would have seen is elbows and butt, because I would have been gone. But I can't say that particular man, that scene took the cake. And then when he rose up and grabbed Billy, and then the father and son was looking like, where is Billy? But they couldn't find him. Man, that took the cake for me. That scene going from Billy being taken to the school bus being hit with the creepers throwing his tools to deflate the bus to keep them right there. And then when the actual superiors the coaches were being taken one by one, come on now. I would have never, forget trying to light the flares and do all, we'd have just been on the bus, because I'm 29. I ain't never seen nobody fly. And I don't plan on seeing nobody fly. If somebody do fly, I know it must be an angel or something they right. But I think those things would have been like, nah, that's cool. And then once the creeper went to the back of the bus and was pointing everybody out, y'all cannot tell me that in that particular situation. Now I get it. Darren and Trish didn't know what to expect. But the only reason we knew what to expect in Jeepers Creepers 2 was because we watched Jeepers Creepers 1. If Jeepers Creepers 2 would have came out first before Jeepers Creepers, I do feel like everyone would agree that Jeepers Creepers 2 is scarier than Jeepers Creepers. If you feel a different type of way, definitely let me know. I would love to have this commentary back and forth, the discourse, just to see why you feel that Jeepers Creepers is more scarier. I'm not going to get deep into every scary part, but if you want to have that conversation, we can go. We can go scene for scene if you want to. Now, moving on to storyline. By far, I believe Jeepers Creepers 1 has the better storyline. From beginning to the end, everything sets up beautifully. From you see Darren and Trish's relationship, you see that they're kind of iffy with their parents, but not all the way, but they're still going through the process of being college kids, where you take that leap of being grown, but you're still a kid in your parents' eyes, which you'll always be in your parents' eyes, but feeling like you're not doing enough, feeling like you're probably doing too much. Like, I feel like those things, it hit home in the storyline. Then having the fact that they had a friend that went missing, but then they found dead, like that sets up it builds the tension. And then once they see the creeper, in the scene when the creeper sees them, see him dumping the body into the hole, that's from there on, the tension rises. And I can definitely say the story gets better with I believe her name is Patricia, the lady that's the psychic in the movie, and she sees Darren and she calls him and warns him.
You hear that sound, you run. And I mean run, cause that song means something terrible for you. Something so terrible you couldn't dream of it.
Like that, then going to the hole, falling in the hole, seeing the dead body, seeing how many people that the creeper had killed, even though they didn't know what the heck it was, or if it was a person, man. And then going to the diner, like I feel like that storyline, that brother and sister storyline, and then getting to the end when he takes Derry, like it makes sense why he took Derry, because Derry was so scared. But I really feel like if both of them would have seen what was down there, I think he probably would have took both of them. Or I don't know, maybe his sister would have been more scared than him, but his sister was a soldier throughout the movie. But I can say Derry was a soldier before he seen what was in the hole. Because you have to remember, Darren was the one that said, let's go back. Trish didn't want to go back. So I feel like that scene showed how their dynamics flipped. Darren became the scared one and Trish became the soldier within that. But because she was unaware of how evil the Creeper was. And don't get me wrong, Jeepers Creepers 2 storyline is great, and I love the school bus and I love the racism in the movie. Now, I don't love the racism, let me not say it like that, but I love how they showed that within like the team, but it showed how they needed to be a team, but due to different perspectives and opinions and racist teammates, they couldn't work as a team to survive, because fear was the catalyst of their choices. And that's when fear is the catalyst of someone's choices, it never turns out good for them or for the people that are around them sometimes. That storyline was good too, but I do feel like, don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed it, but I do feel like there were some plot holes within that. And then given the Creeper only chose a certain few, I feel like all of them were scared. So that made me feel like, wait, so the ones that he didn't choose aren't scared, or those are the ones that feared him the most? And if so, then I can understand that, but I can't say that was just, it was just a few things where I was like, I feel like that could have been better. And why did the girl, I forgot her name in the actual movie, one second. So Minxie, I believe it's Minxie, but this character, why was she selected to have the visions? Why was she chosen to have that? Like, I wanted to know her connection with the Creeper or with the situation, or even with Darren and Trish. Like, it would have made sense if that was like family or something like that, but I just wanted to know why was she chosen to have the visions and everything. So that was just my only thing. I think it would have been even scarier if no one knew what it was. I feel like it would have been even scarier, but they had to do those particular things to make sense of their choices, if that makes sense. So I think that was the thing. The crazy part is I'm still thinking about Jeepers Creepers 2, and I don't think I even named some of the scariest parts in that movie, but when they stabbed him in the head and then he popped his head off, and then he went up in the sky, fell down on top of the bus, and then his wing went through and the kid was playing with it and said, feels like a shower curtain. Yeah, my shower curtain ain't never wrapped me up and took my head off my body. But man, look, it's some parts of that movie that's woo. Yeah, that's some stuff right there. But I'm gonna give storyline to Jeepers Creepers 2001. For which has the better characters, I would say this is a no-brainer because you had Justin Long in 2001 Jeepers Creepers. But there are so many, except for like Jack Taggart and stuff, but there were so many actors in Jeepers Creepers 2 that I did not know, and they all did good. Don't get me wrong, there was some parts in there that was like, oh Lord. But given that Jeepers Creepers 2 had the most characters, or had more characters than Jeepers Creepers 2001, but I will give that to Jeepers Creepers 2001 just because Darren and Trish, they had us through the whole entire movie. Then they added Patricia, and even though I didn't like the cops acting, they did decent. But the one part of the movie that I felt that was like, it's a small part, is when the waitress came in and said,
He was standing there at your car, sniffing that laundry, holding big handfuls of it under his nose. Looked like he was liking it too.
She acted that part. That was good. So I'm not gonna say like there weren't any like other characters that made an impact on it, but they did their thing on that one. And the guy that plays the Creeper, Jonathan Brick, I believe you from Houston, Texas. Stay strong, brother. You did your thing. We need you back if they do another Jeepers Creepers, but only if they do it right, because Reborn and other Jeepers Creepers, y'all could have kept that. You could have kept that in your mind, because those ideas was that. But I mean, kudos to you for getting the movie out, but yeah, that wasn't it. Y'all messed that one up. And then finally, to say which film was better, I said it already. I got to give it to Jeepers Creepers 2001. That movie reigns victorious 10 times out of 10, and I gave that movie a 4 out of 5, and that's just off the love for the movie. But I can remember every time I watch that movie, I can remember when I was a kid watching that movie, and for a movie to do that, I have to salute it. And Jeepers Creepers 2 does as well, but Jeepers Creepers is the first one we actually got to experience the Creeper for the first time, and every time I watch it, it feels like the exact first time. And I'm thinking about the scene when they went to go see the the lady with the cats, and then the creeper killed her and came out and then dropped her. Woo! I know y'all probably say that scene is scarier than, but I thought that scene was actually funny in the movie because the lady didn't want to let them in. But Jeepers Creepers 2001 is an amazing movie. Jeepers Creepers 2 is an amazing movie as well, but I would give the better film to Jeepers Creepers. I didn't want to keep this video that long. I just wanted to come on here and do a quick versus between two of my favorite horror movies of all time. If you like this type of video, definitely leave it in the comments. I would do more. Give me recommendations on two movies. They kind of keep them similar to where they don't have to be like a sequel of a movie, but kind of keep them similar to, like, if it's a slasher, pick another slasher. If it's a psychological, pick another psychological. Kind of keep it in the same realm, if that makes sense. But if you guys want to see more videos like this, like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, comment, and please remember to go to the theater this weekend to go see Thunderbolts. If you're into Marvel, or if you love Marvel, I hear that the post-credit scenes in the movie is great, and also the reviews for the movie is doing good. I believe on Rotten Tomatoes is 95%, but y'all know how I usually go. You gotta wait a couple of days till you get the actual like Rotten Tomatoes, because it'll say 95 and then Monday it'll drop to 67 and you be like, well, dang. But I believe Marvel gonna get it back together, and I'm excited to see what Thunderbolts has in store. However, that Weapons movie, zoom in a little bit. That movie look good now. I ain't gonna lie, that movie looking good. I'm excited to see like what's in store for this year for films and for horror. Like, I'm very excited, and I won't just do horror movies on here. I will be doing like romantic comedies, thrillers, everything within that. I was gonna do The Anatomy of a Fall if you guys haven't seen it, but I did not like that ending. And I may still do it just because I didn't like the ending, but that movie, it irked me at the end, because I really was like, You took me all the way here just to leave me right there. I was like, that's crazy. But thank you guys for watching. I do have an interview brewing up for you guys. I won't say when it's coming out, but just know whenever it's about to come out, I will let you guys know. Other than that, without further ado, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your time. Stay blessed. Continue watching movies.